Yo, it's your boy Slug in the Building. You guys already know what the deal is. Alright, check this out. I'm in my boy Deptford account right here. As you guys can see, he got a max out Sukuna. So we're gonna showcase him. Of course, we're gonna show his kit. Then we're gonna showcase him in high level stages. And of course, at the very end of the video, if you guys wanna skip through over there, definitely we're gonna have recommendation for recollection bits. So let's just go dive in. All right, we are here. So of course we're gonna start out with his skill 1. So let's go check out what his skill 1 does. So skill 1, dealing 214% range Jujutsu damage to a second enemy and filling his ultimate gauge by 100. This is definitely one of my favorite skill. It's more of the preferred skill that I like, but I recommend you level up all his skills, right? Of course his domain to like level 10 if you can. And yeah, but my favorite skill is his first skill, as you guys can see, because ultimate gauge, meaning getting your domain up quicker, which is really the thing you really want to do. That's where his true damage come out, right? So of course, inflict one stack of 20% continuous Jujutsu damage. So pretty much you have a bleed effect that lasting for 3 turns. So this is really crazy. So each stack will increase the additional damage of by 20%. So pretty much, yeah, each stack is just increasing by 20%. Seem like there's no like restriction to it. So yeah, so let's go use this. So look at Sukuna on the screen right here and look at his ultimate gauge. You see how it's right there. Now when I hit the enemy, you're gonna see the additional 100, and this is what I like about Sukuna when he uses skill 1, because of course you want to get his domain up super quick so you can start applying super bleed, and you're gonna see it later on. Right, now let's go at skill 2. So skill 2 reads as deal 350% melee taijutsu damage to the selected enemy, 3 hit medium chance to perform a critical hit. Increase own critical crit rate by 45% for 3 turns, and increase critical damage by 75% for 3 turns. Very powerful. And of course, as you guys know, these buff do stack. So of course some would like the skill 2 more, and I do like it because it's situational where you want to do a lot of damage. You want to apply this before you use your domain. So it's really good. And of course skill 2 is going to be really important to level up too. The reason why, because I'll explain it later once we get into the domain, right? So in a restriction state. So this is what it does. So you could see this one in the bottom, right? Deal 451% charges to the stuck enemy. The more own curse energy has, the greater damage increase. Increase the selected enemy damage received by 45%. So it's going to be a debuff, and you guys going to see that later. So this is why I said the skill 2, you do want to level up every single skill for Sukuna, because when he go into his restriction state, which is while he's using his domain, his skill 2 is the only ability you could actually use, and it's a debuff, and that's the debuff that you guys see there on the screen. All right, so let's go use his skill 2 here. But skill 2 is just going to do the first ability, but the restriction one is a debuff, right? While the regular one is a buff, right? Now let's go check out skill 3. Deal 240% range Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. Inflict 2 stack of 20% continuous Jujutsu damage from his bleed for 3 turns. If own so this one's interesting. As you guys can see, you see how I have 40 curse energy, right? So when I click on this, so now it's going to do the second one. If own curse energy is 40 or more, change skill effect. So the skill effect is going to be changing, so the damage percentage gets increased because you're using more curse energy. Instead of using 20 as the base, is 40. So it's going to be 20, 40, and 90, right? So the more you do, and as you guys can see in this full list, so if you're using 40 energy, 40 cost, which I'm gonna be using on this turn. Inflict 2 stack of, and it's 40% of Jujutsu damage. Is going to be lasting for 3 turns, so you're going to be applying 40% bleed, right? And on top of that, as you can see, there's a 90, and that's going to come and play real hard. And you're going to see that we're going to be, and it's not that hard to get curse energy to 90 when we use his domain. So now let's just use this skill 3, right? And of course, we got his domain expansion, right? Grant sure hit effect, and of course it's going to be an AoE, by the way, for 1 turn. Notify attack notification status for 1 turn. Deal 1684% Jujutsu damage to all enemy, hitting them 8 times. Inflict 4 stack of 50% continued Jujutsu damage. So bleed for 4 turn. And this thing is super strong, right? Okay, then you see the thing, the once in a buy, activate skill restriction stats for 2 turns, cannot charge own. So it's pretty much every domain where you can't charge your own. So it's just the domain rules, right? So everybody obey to the domain rules. And here's the thing, before we use our domain, right, you guys gonna see, well, he have other things we have to talk about too. He does have a passive, and let's go put the passive on the screen right here. So this is going to be his out of skill passive, reverse curse technique. At the start of turn, he recover his own HP based on the frequency of hit received. If a skill could hit multiple times, still count as 1 hit received. So he recovered his own HP by 6,500, chance 20%. If you receive 1 hit, 3,000 HP damage. 1 hit of 3,000 HP damage. Recover own HP by 6,300, 50% chance. If you receive 2 or more hits of 3,000 HP damage, receive own HP by 3,500, and it's at 85%. So the more that Sukuna get hit, so of course there's not 100% chance that he will heal on a turn, but there's always a chance, like even if he don't get hit, right? But it's a 20% chance. But of course, the more that Sukuna get hit, the more chance that he actually gets to heal, right? So it pretty much, but like when he do get hit, that it have to be at least 3,000 HP that he's receiving, right? Which is pretty easy for him to get hit for 3,000. So he do have a self-healing passive. It's not always guaranteed. So if you notice that he doesn't heal, it's somewhat RNG, but it's actually a really big heal, right? Now let's go look at his other passive, King of Curses. At the start of battle, grant poison, darkness. So pretty much he's just immune to everything, right? To darkness, soul, stun, confusion, immunity to self. Grant immunity to instant death effect caused by soul damage to self. Grant 30% flame resistant to self. When critical hit is performed, increase own damage dealt by 30% for 2 turns. Recover own curse energy by 20, right? So of course, it's like, the thing is, you most likely want to use the skill 2 first, because when he does perform a crit, then you get more curse energy, which apply more bleed. So that's why I say it's situational what you want to do, even though I do prefer his first skill the most because it get the ultimate gauge up. But if you're in a situation where you want to use Sukuna like third skill before you use, if you try and use his third skill before his domain skill, maybe the best option for you to use his skill 2, then spam his skill 1, right? Then maybe you could sneak in like a skill 3 before you domain, right? Because you going to get all your curse energy maxed out, as you going to see right now. So we're going to use the domain expansion. So here we go. Look at that. That man's a menace. Crazy. Just wiping the floor. And like I said, so this is now we're in the restriction state. So you only could use his skill 2. And the skill 2, as you guys remember, it was a debuff. So we're going to debuff the enemy, and they say debuff the enemy for the amount of curse energy. And of course, once you're using your domain, so this just worked perfectly for him. The more curse energy that you have, the more that more his skill 2 will do. When so we gonna get the maximum 45% defense break on him. So there you go. And now we could start spamming Sukuna skill 3. Applying the bleed, we got the break, and yeah, his laugh is just iconic right there. And there you go. And that's pretty much his kit, his passive, and everything that you see right there. Of course, now we're going to be taken to higher stages. So I'll see you guys on that one. Alright, we are here, and of course you guys see SSR Momo, we got Geto, and we got R Kaido with Sukuna, Gojo in the back just in case. But this is gonna be tower 56. Of course it's gonna be weak against blue typing, so let's go dive in so we could show you guys the Sukuna showcase and its highest and one of the highest difficulty inside the game, right? So of course this thing is gonna be super easy. The reason why I got Kaido, because Geto, he want curse energy, Sukuna want curse energy, Momo need curse energy, so Kaido is still valuable till this day for Pacific teams. So now let's go. So we're gonna use this Geto, we're gonna use Geto skill 2 to get that debuff. Kaido, of course, going to be using that, and Sukuna's going to be using his skill 1, so we could try get his ultimate super quick. Alright, so Kaido's going to be providing the curse energy for the whole team so it could stay consistent. Kaido already died, but it's just fine, right? Gojo will be arriving. At least we still got the buff from Kaido. So let's go keep on buffing here. While Sukuna's gonna be hitting with his skill 1 so he could get his OT up. Them hitting Sukuna, it won't phase him because Sukuna do got a self healing. Alright. So let's do this. Apply a whole bunch of debuff. Him hitting Geto, but Geto just tanky. He just ate that thing. Of course, Geto gonna keep on doing his thing. And now Sukuna's gonna ult so we could get those 2 minions on the side. So perfect timing. Because we need them to get out of there. Because they had their ultimate coming up on that turn. Probably would have wiped out some few people in our team. Alright, so Momo, we of course what we gonna be doing. We're gonna keep on buffing. Geto, he's gonna start using this as OT. Gojo uses OT. Yeah, Geto just been hitting hard, and that's AoE too. Of course, Gojo's gonna do his thing. And Sukuna might end up with a break. Or maybe Geto and Gojo. I guess you don't need much here. Right here. We just gonna buff with Gojo because this is a Sukuna showcase, so we just gonna just use Sukuna. And you guys gonna see his bleed damage just does massive numbers, and they could keep on stacking, right? So let's do this. Gero's gonna debuff. Gojo's gonna keep on buffing while Sukuna's applying his bleed. And bleed just gonna finish off the day. And that's gonna be in for that. As you guys could see right there, right? Sukuna could just handle things. This is at tower stage 56 with ease. Of course, the team is pretty stacked. But you can see Kaido even died on the first turn. We just needed him for the curse energy just to keep Momo and everybody curse energy consistent so we could keep on using the ability. So there you guys have it. And of course, at the end of the video, as you guys seen, we're gonna go straight to the recollection bits recommendation. All right, I'll see you guys there. All right, we are here towards the end of the video, and of course I got 3 recommendations for the recollection bits. So starting off for the third one, the third best one that I recommend for Sukuna is Pride. And of course, the reason why, because Sukuna on his skill 2 is a physical ability, so you can start spamming that one while you're stacking this one, so you can stack it twice. So this one is very, very good for Sukuna. So yeah, this will be my number 3, and here's gonna be my number 2. My number 2 is actually will be the Sukuna memory that's inside his banner. This one's actually really good because it does give a 2-turn. So when you use this, his ultimate damage get a higher increase of doing more damage. Then of course you get one more additional turn to do additional more damage. So it's very, very good for Sukuna. So if you got this memory, the one that's inside his banner, this one is my second recommendation that you should be putting on Sukuna. And of course, last and final, you guys probably might guess it already, hollow purple is still valuable. The reason why, because when you got this at +1, you get the 200 at the start turn of the ultimate gauge. And as you could see from the showcase, once you get into Sukuna ultimate, right, you're applying the bleed, you're getting 210 cap out on the curse energy. So guess what that means? Damage is coming over time, a lot sooner, right? The sooner you get your domain up for Sukuna, the more damage you're gonna be pushing out. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for the video. Shout out for Dapper right here. I'm gonna have his channel over there somewhere on the screen. But shout out to the brother for letting me use his account with his maxed out Sukuna. As you guys can see, man, this was really, really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely like the video, subscribe to your boy if you haven't yet, and don't forget to hit the bell for more JJK Fan Parade news. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.